5 signs of a toxic relationship. Society constantly loves painting this image of a relationship that is, everything is perfect and every day the sun shines brightly while the birds are chirping. While it's true that at times relationships tend to be that way, the rest of the time most relationships tend to be toxic and can end up being harmful and dangerous. At times, we will all get into scuffles with our parents, siblings, and spouse. However, these rough times don't have to mean the end of a relationship. When a relationship is still healthy, working through a conflict can be easy and actually make the relationship stronger. Relationships evolve over time. They change and they grow. Sometimes they crash and burn. Other times they flourish into something magical. We never know how things will look when one person holds something against the other. We don't know the dark side of each other until there is a fallout. We don't know how the other person will react when under the influence of drug, alcohol, or in-laws. If you are in a non-healthy relationship, you know it's toxic. You may not realize it in the beginning, but eventually you will. You may want to fight to save it because it's still important to you, or struggle to leave it because you are not sure about what to do. Nonetheless, if you acknowledge that things aren't the way they used to be, then you know there's something wrong. In other words, there's no doubt that the relationship is unhealthy. Additionally, even if you're unsure or in denial, your friends and family will give you hints that something is wrong, and it can be seen by everyone else. Dear future entrepreneurs and moguls, here are 5 signs of a toxic relationship. Number 1. Dishonesty. Dishonesty is to act without honesty. It is used to describe a lack of probity, cheating, lying, or deliberately withholding information, or being deliberately deceptive, or a lack in integrity, connivingness, perfidiosity, corruption, and treacherousness. Trust is the root of a thriving relationship. Lying and other deceptive behaviors break this trust, tainting the emotional honesty of a healthy relationship requires. Number 2. Passive-aggressive behavior. Passive aggressiveness can be defined as a type of behavior or personality characterized by indirect resistance to the demands of others and an avoidance of direct confrontation, as in procrastinating, pouting, or misplacing important materials. There's nothing wrong or toxic about feeling jealous. If you're a human, you have felt jealous before. It's what you do with that feeling that determines whether you make a relationship toxic or not. Number 3. Codependency. Codependency is characterized by a person belonging to a dysfunctional, one-sided relationship where one person relies on the other for meeting nearly all of their emotional and self-esteem needs. In a codependent relationship, one partner is the taker while the other is the giver. The giver will subvert their own needs to conform to those of their partners, while the taker will rely on that partner for extreme support and validation. Number 4. Avoiding ownership. Taking ownership means standing up and announcing that you are responsible for executing a particular task or project. Sometimes taking ownership would just mean being accountable for a project within your job description. We don't always own our issues, and that's okay. No one's perfect. We all have egos. But if we never take ownership, it turns the relationship lopsided and ultimately toxic. Ownership is what makes relationships grow. If people don't own, they are not learning, expanding, and evolving. They are repeating patterns. They are living in the past. They are defensive. Number 5. Extreme insecurities. Several factors can lead to insecurities. An insecurity may stem from a traumatic event, crisis such as divorce or bankruptcy, or a loss. It can also result from one's environment as unpredictability, or upset in daily life can cause anxiety and insecurity about ordinary routine events. Everyone has insecurities, but these should never be exacerbated by a partner. Relationships should be fulfilling both physically and emotionally. In conclusion, if you are in a non-healthy relationship, you know it's toxic. You may not realize it in the beginning, but eventually you will. You may want to fight to save it because it's still important to you, or struggle to leave it because you're not sure about what to do. Nonetheless, if you acknowledge that things aren't the way they used to be, then you know there is something wrong. In other words, there is no doubt that the relationship is unhealthy. Additionally, even if you're unsure or in denial, your friends and family will give you hints that something is wrong, and it can be seen by everyone else. The end. Thank you.